I mean, the futures are down considerably after Trump's announcements yesterday regarding the retaliatory tariffs on the countries around the world. It's a fascinating day, and really we're trying to figure out where all the pieces are, here in the puzzle. But the reality from our perspective is that the way that these tariffs have been imposed across all countries, and if you look at it, it's pretty much, and I know there's already some critique around the calculations of the trade deficits with each country and how the retaliatory tariffs are being imposed. But you could look at the board they put up, and based on their calculation, we're pretty much imposing 50% of what other countries are imposing upon us. And what's going to be interesting in my perspective is right now the mood is very sour. Stocks are selling off. People are, the short-term pain is significant. But I'm very curious on how and when some of these individual countries acquiesce and come out publicly and drop their tariffs. And I think ultimately what has the potential of happening, I don't know if this will transpire, but what has the potential of happening, Jack, is one by one, these countries coming out and saying, okay, we will drop our tariffs. And Trump made it very clear, if you want no tariffs on your products sold in the United States, drop your tariffs on the products that we sell in your country. And so I think you'll have kind of like, it's almost like the transfer portal, right? There's a lot of people that enter the transfer portal that you don't get a lot of news on. Like so-and-so's entering the transfer portal. Well, they're kind of a B league player. Maybe they didn't really get much playing time, and that's why they're in the transfer portal. But when a superstar enters the transfer portal, it makes massive news. So I suspect what could happen here is that one by one, individual countries are going to come out and they're going to announce, hey, we're dropping our tariffs. We're dropping our tariffs on goods that are sold in the United States. Some countries will be more significant than others. But it, I think, could be the power of numbers where all of a sudden in, the next month or so or couple of months, we're looking and saying, listen, these are the countries that have dropped their tariffs on goods sold in their countries. And these are the countries that are still holding on. And I think it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. That's the angle that I think the administration is going for here. And ultimately, that would be a great thing. I mean, if ultimately we go down the road and one by one these countries drop their value-added taxes or tariffs that they impose or whatever you want to call it, for our companies in the United States to sell their products free and clear in those countries, that would be a positive thing, and the market would respond accordingly.